Is our order of operations practice set. So go ahead, pause the video, work these problems on your own. Make sure you're showing your work clearly, top to bottom, showing good strategy, and then unpause the video when you're ready to review. Let's go ahead and take a look at this first problem. And we have 3 plus 4 times 4. Now, when I was typing this, there's no great way to do time symbols in this program, so I can't really use the dot that I would probably normally use for multiplication there. So I went with 2 parentheses indicating 4 times 4, but for educational purposes and to make sure we're not too comfortable with the same thing over and over again, I will change it up when I go over. So we have 3 plus 4 times 4. The order of operations say that we will do the multiplication first. So we'll have 4 times 4 is equal to 16. And then we will do the addition. So 3 plus 16 is 19. Notice the top to bottom structure. Okay, really, really, really important. And you might say, well, this is a simple problem. I can do it in my head. I didn't need to show any work. That's exactly when you want to practice your good strategy, laying out the problems, because if you wait until the problems become more complicated with more steps, then you actually don't have the skills in place to do it. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So this is a common one for students to make a mistake on. And a lot of times, again, you won't see the parenthesis there, you'll see the dot. And this one involves 3 different operations. So we have multiplication in the 2 times the 3 to the third, we have the exponent 3 to the third, and we have the subtraction. And as we want to remember, that exponent 3 to the third only goes with what's to immediately to the left of the exponent. So that would be the 3. So we want to start there executing that exponent. 3 to the third power is 3 times 3 times 3, or 27. And notice I'm going to copy the rest of the problem down. So even though I didn't do 2 times anything, I'm still copying that down to the next line. Even though I didn't do anything with the -6, I'm still copying that down to the next line. Now we'll do the multiplication. 2 times 27 is 54. And then we will do the subtraction. 54 minus 6 is 48. Okay, and so we want our answers to land at the bottom of our work, and anyone who's looking at our work can see what we did from step to step. And that way, if you do make a mistake, it'll be easy for your teacher to see where you made it. Okay, number 3, we have 2 plus 4 minus 3 in the numerator, and then 12 minus, we'll change it up. We'll do 3 times 3 and we'll put it in parentheses. Now, this problem has a lot going on in it. We have addition, we see a couple of subtractions, we see multiplication, and we also see a fraction bar, which can signify division. And that fraction bar also functions as a grouping symbol. So I have the grouping symbol around the 3 times 3, which might be extraneous, meaning that we don't need it. And we also have that grouping symbol with the fraction bar there. That means that we do everything in the numerator, and then everything in the denominator before we start mixing and mingling the numerator and the denominator together. So in my numerator, I have 2 plus 4, so that is 6. And I'll keep the minus 3 there for now. In my denominator, I have 3 times 3, which is 9. Now executing the numerator out another step, we have 6 minus 3 is 3. And in my denominator, I have 12 minus 9, which is also 3, and 3 divided by 3, or 3/3, is equal to 1. So that one evaluates to just the number 1. Double check your work. Make sure that even if you have the correct answer, again, that your work is being shown nicely on the page and that somebody else looking at your work would know what you were doing. Okay, next one, number 4. We have 4 times 5 squared minus 10 plus 20. So we have some multiplication, an exponent, subtraction, and some addition going on. We're going to start with our exponent. So 5 squared is 25. And then we have multiplication. 4 times 25 is 100. Now, this is where you'll see a lot of people get confused because of the way that we write the acronym PEMDAS. It will lead people to believe that addition comes before subtraction. But in the lesson, we covered that addition and subtraction actually just go from left to right. So when we get to our lessons on negative numbers, that will make more sense, that you can do a little bit of a rewrite there. But for now, just remember, you're going to just go left to right. So 100 minus 10 is 90. And then 90 plus 20 is 110. Next one, we have 2w plus 3x all divided by 20. And we're going to evaluate that for w is equal to 10 and x is equal to 20. So in my next line down, I will do my substitution. So w is 10 and x is 20. And you might be tempted to say, oh, I can cancel some stuff out. Nope. Remember that fraction bar is functioning like a grouping symbol. So everything that is in that numerator needs to be dealt with before we start looking at the denominator. So 2 times 10 is 20 and 3 times 20 is 60. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can cancel some stuff out. Nope, don't cancel anything out yet. We have to finish what's being done in that numerator first. So 20 plus 60 is 80. And only then can we actually do that division out and say 80 divided by 20 is 4. Right, so double check your work. Next one. Now this one is written with something very specific in mind. So we just did a problem in number 5 where we get to this point where it's tempting to like cancel stuff out. So you get that 20 plus 60 and you might be tempted to say, oh, 20 divided by 20, like that cancels out and it gives me a 1, or you might say it cancels out and it goes away altogether and I'm left with 60. But we can see that that's actually not how it works. You need to do the 20 plus 60 first and then do the division. Now, I would say that once you have a little bit of practice, most students are okay with that. But over here, you suddenly have variables. And so now that it's not numbers that are actually plugged in, that temptation to try to cancel some stuff out comes back. We want to be really wary of that because our order of operations for our variables is the same as our order of operations for numbers. So let's go ahead and plug this in. This is 2 times 3 squared plus 4 times 3 over 2 times 3 squared. And then we need to do our order of operations in the numerator, beginning with that squaring. So 3 squared is 9. So that becomes 2 times 9. And then I can go over here and do the 4 times 3 because I know that's the next thing that I'm going to do. And I'm realizing I changed something on my notes here. Okay, and what I did here was I did this in the denominator as well. Okay, 2 times 9 is 18. And now you can see that it's a lot like the other problem that we did where we had, I copied something wrong. I love that. Where we have the addition has to be done first before we can do anything else. So 18 plus 12 is 30. And then we can either simplify this or grab a calculator and divide it out. We'll go ahead and simplify this. They are both divisible by 6. So 30 divided by 6 is 5, and 18 divided by 6 is 3. And so that simplifies to 5/3. And last but not least, you are looking to purchase 2 t-shirts. One costs $10 and the other $15. If the sales tax is 6%, how much tax should you be paying total? And so there's actually a couple of ways that you could do this. But you might say, well, I'm going to go to the register and I am going to put the 2 t-shirts on the counter. And so The cashier is going to ring those up, and that's going to be $25. And now you're going to pay 6% sales tax on $25. Now, this requires that you remember some stuff about percent. So 6% is literally 6 out of 100. Okay, better known as 0.06. So there are some shortcuts that teachers will sometimes give students. They'll say, well, if you're going to deal with percents, just move the decimal point 2 places to the left. I think it's important that you know why you're moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. Literally, the word percent means per 100. Okay, so CENT means 100, as in century. There's 100 years in a century, or 100 cents in a dollar. So percent means out of 100. 6% means 6 out of 100. So you can always write it as a fraction, 6 over 100, or you can use the decimal. So if we are wondering what is 6% of 25, what we're looking for is the what is 6% of becomes multiplication, and then we have 25. And so we'd grab our calculator, we would do 0.06 times 25, and we would get $1.50. Now, you could do that another way. And so if you're looking at your work, you might have done 6% of $10 and separately done 6% of $15. 6% of $10 is 60 cents. 6% of $15 is 90 cents. And then you might have added the 60 and the 90 together to get the 150. Now, that also works and is a completely valid way of doing the problem. You might make an argument that one way is faster than the other, or one way is more efficient, but as long as it makes sense to you and actually taps into some important algebra concepts that are coming up in the future. As always, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel for more math tutorials and practice sets.